Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, lovies, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nai, and today we are going to be talking about things to know before you move out. So, as some of you know, I moved out last year. I think I mentioned it in my last video. I moved out last year, and it was a long time coming. I was super excited, but there are some things to know before you move out. So I have my little notes on my phone, right? You see my Sunny Angel. I actually got my Sunny Angel at Foodieland on Friday, which is so exciting. But yeah, so I have my Sunny Angel, very cute with my phone. But we're just gonna get right into it so we can get through this. So the first thing that I have is finances. So something to know is that rent is not just only rent. It includes so much, and kind of like knowing what you're getting yourself into is important. So like there's rent, there's utilities, there's groceries, there's transportation, there's like paying off your debt or whatever. Like these are all things to really consider before you're moving out because yeah, rent might be $1,200. Where you let me know. Rent might be $1,200, but your utilities might be 200, and then your groceries are like 400, and then your transportation, like for gas, like $80 a month. Like it all adds up, and understanding that like that is rent itself, like that you pay to the people, for the house that you live in is not all you have to pay. So just keeping that in mind. Also, like saving before you move out, or you will be broke. You will be broke when you move in, and that's okay. But also, like, it would be so much better if you have money ready for you to like have a backup just in case. So like when we moved in, I didn't really save that much, but I did have money to kind of spend. But we moved like during a time where we didn't have work, so we were literally at home all day, and like there's not those extra funds to go and do that fun stuff, especially when you just move in, unless you save. So just make sure that you're saving money prior to moving out so that you're prepared and you kind of have like a safety net for like, oh, I want to go do this, but you just moved out. So like you got to pick your battles. The second thing I have is you don't have to have everything when you move in. So we prioritize certain things. So we prioritize like the kitchen because we know we'll be cooking at home a lot to try to save money. Something that was big for me was my bedroom, like my furniture, because I knew that we were going to be on fall break going into moving in. So I wanted to make sure that my space was comfortable so that I could enjoy it. I did have most of my furniture anyway from my mom's house. However, like making sure that I had this little, I have like an IKEA cube storage, making sure I had that, making sure like I had the picture frames that I wanted, or like the like different things that I wanted in my room. I made sure that I had so that I felt comfortable in my room. Um, Also like hangers, you don't have to have all matching hangers. If you just bring the hangers that you have from wherever you're coming from, use those. And then as time progresses, you can add stuff to your room. So we moved just recently, so in June again to a different unit. And I bought this chair maybe a month ago for my graduation. But like I added a TV in my room because I don't really watch TV, but like it's nice to have one. I added the pictures on the wall. I added the little lights over it. I added like LEDs in my bathroom. Like I added a lot of stuff to what I bought. I got more hangers for my closet. Like those are things that I added afterwards that like were something that I wanted, but I waited until like I actually needed it or had the means to, because I didn't need it like right when I got it. We also decided to buy a new couch. Like we bought a couch off over OfferUp the first time. Like that's not a priority because yeah, we sit in the couch, but like you're mostly in your room. So we're being realistic. You can also stockpile for a while before you move out. So like if you know that you're moving out in the next 6 months, like maybe every time you go to the store, you grab detergent, or you grab soap, or like toilet paper, or cleaning supplies. Like that's another way to do it so that you can have all of those things that you want or that you need before. So then you won't have to worry about like not having anything. Um, Point number three, picking the right place for you. So, picking the right place is so important because that's where you're going to be living. So, you don't want somewhere where you're not going to be happy, where there's no light, where there's no amenities, where there's no like, it's a bad area to live in. It's not close to work. Like, that doesn't make sense. So, something to look at would be like if you spend a lot of time in the kitchen, making sure that, oh, all of the appliances are stainless steel. Now, is that a luxury? Yes. But if that's what you want, then make sure you get that. Or if you want to make sure that they have a gym and a workroom and a pool, like making sure that that's on your list when you go look, because if it doesn't have that, then you have extra expenses. So, a gym membership, you can still buy a gym membership, but you have other options. A pool, like those are things that we kind of overlook sometimes that we don't think about until like we actually want to do something. And usually it's included in the rent, so you won't have to like worry about adding the extra expense. Also like area, making sure that you're in a good and safe area. Sometimes that might not be the case based on your budget. However, like knowing where you want to live and if it's close to where you work or if it's close to your family, like knowing the area so that you know what's around you is important. Like we live close to an area where they're building stuff. So they're building new restaurants, they're building new stores. So it's a perfect area to live in. And we're close to our families. But if that's something to just keep in mind, honestly, and know your non-negotiables in your apartment. So we have in-unit washer and dryer. That's a non-negotiable. We have stainless steel, non-negotiable. The amenities, so the gym and the pool and the workroom, non-negotiable. That's something that we wanted, so that's what we chose. Um, and I would say the last thing is roommates. So if you are looking to move out with a roommate, be very picky in who you choose because you will live with them and you will do things that will make them mad and they will do things that will make you mad. But understanding that like this is a shared space and you're supposed to enjoy your time living together instead of like fighting. Um, just keep that in mind. Also, your level of communication. If your relationship is not based on communication, it will not work. Like, yes, you're living together. Yes, it's kind of like a business agreement. Like, you pay your rent, I pay my rent. Like, it's done. But you also want to feel comfortable in your house and not feel like you're being put out or you're making an incorrect choice by living with somebody who you don't really know that well. Like you don't want to live with somebody who maybe you've only known for 2 weeks. Like that's kind of crazy, or like maybe a year or whatever. But you want to make sure that you have a good enough relationship where you can have conversations about finances. You can have conversations about your daily life. Like you're not coming in the house, not saying anything, walking to your room. Like it's you want an open and welcoming space, and the person that you live with should be able to add to that space. So, like my roommate, I was her friend first, and then we built our relationship off of communication. So, like when there's ever a disagreement, we have a conversation. When there's ever something that's bothering us, like we're gonna have a conversation. Now, obviously, do we argue? Yes, but that's growing pains. Like this is what happens with people. I argue with my siblings and I don't pay rent with them. So I think that's something to consider and understand that like you're in this together, locked in tight, and Elise is crazy. So make sure that you choose the right person and agree on the terms. Like if you feel like you want the dishes cleaned every week, or every day, like you want the kitchen clean every day, make sure you communicate that so that that person can also work with that. But also understand that like that might not be feasible for them. Like they might leave the house at 6 a.m. and come back at 10 p.m. and washing the dishes is not their main priority, but they might wash it every week. So that's something to consider when you're considering moving out and kind of working around the roommate thing. Also, understanding that like in an apartment, there's a master and then there's like the regular room. So having that conversation of who gets what and what that looks like for you. Because there are apartments where you have a bathroom or you have two bathrooms and you have two bedrooms. So you're not sharing your bathroom and your bedroom. However, the master is connected to the bathroom and the other one is separate. So again, communicate, communicate, communicate. Make sure that is the top of your priorities. Make sure that you don't rush into anything that you don't want to do because then it'll ruin the relationship. And I have heard and watched some very not so good roommate agreements, and it's not fun literally at all. And they hate it, and usually they fall out with the person and they don't speak to them, or they take a few months off from each other, maybe talk here or there, but like you really don't want that and it's not fun. So I suggest that you just choose wisely, be picky, have those conversations, don't rush into it. Make sure you're financially ready, make sure you know what you want, make sure that you don't rush into anything, make sure that you have everything that you feel is necessary when you move in, and you'll be fine. Like you are going to enjoy the new freedom of moving out and being on your own. Is it annoying sometimes? Yes. Is it trying? Yes. Like dang, like now I have to pay, like now I have to go get detergent. Like that's such a stupid problem, but that's not something you think about when you live in a house where it's just provided for you. Or like, oh, I have to buy groceries. Groceries are expensive. Like eggs. Now, mind you, were eggs just on sale? Yes. But eggs like $5. Like that's insane. Especially like if you're feeding yourself for a month, it gets expensive, and you might have other bills on top of that. I definitely do. So you just have to be responsible. Be responsible, make good choices. Um, and if you need help, make sure you ask for it. I'm not saying ask people for money, but also like ask for support. Like, oh, in this situation, what do I do? Or like, is this a good price? Or is this a good area? Please lean on the people around you. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that topic, honestly. Like, I love being moved out. I enjoy the freedom. Sorry, my hair is in the way. I enjoy the freedom. I enjoy it all. Like, it's just so fun. So I recommend it. Um, so yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. And I can't wait to see you again on Zooms with Nye. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.